the most simplified recipe. This is the same recipe my family's been using for generations. There's been no modifications. Only modification is that I use olive oil. And in my family, we traditionally used mustard oil for this recipe because where I come from, mustard oil, like Italians use olive oil. Different countries use different. In Asia, there's more sesame oil is used a little bit more prevalently. We use mustard oil, but I use olive oil because it's much, much healthier than cooking with mustard oil. So just so.
We lost audio.
We can't hear you, Art.
This is where the audio.
Okay, it's unmuted.
The computer there because it's live.
Okay. Maybe. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. Now we can.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, perfect. And you can see me, we're good. Yes, okay. I'm gonna start, so I have my chickpeas. I'm gonna show you, I soaked my chickpeas last night and I pressure cooked them this morning. I have about 3 cups or 2 cans. So it's up to you. If you're using canned, you can go ahead and open it and just really rinse out your chickpeas really, really well and get that little stuff that's in there and put it aside. Mine are already washed and cooked and ready to go. Yeah? Yes?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. And then I'm gonna wash the rice. I have some new people I'm gonna show you. I have 1 cup of rice. So the first thing what we do, hi Ari. Plus, I have a lot of new people coming in. Okay, I have 1 cup of organic basmati rice. I'm gonna go ahead and wash it, and I'm gonna show you how I wash it. So Govi's gonna follow me to the sink just so you guys can see how I wash my rice. Can you see me?
Yes.
That one's okay.
Good.
Good. So I just simply just kind of rinse it out, and you're not looking for water to run clear because it's not going to. You're just looking for 3 to 4 washes. I'm gonna do 3 rinses, and then I'm just gonna soak the rice while we're making our chickpeas. So the reason we soak the rice is it actually starts to soften the rice. First of all, you should always wash your rice because it comes, it's packed, it's processed in big warehouses and plants, and a lot of people have touched it through the process of just processing the rice. So it's really, really important to always wash your rice, wash your lentils, wash everything, always. So I washed my rice and I soaked it. It doesn't matter how much water you soak it in, as long as it's completely covering the rice, it's good. We're just gonna let it sit back there. Did we wash our rice? Are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Washing.
Washing, take your time, wash your rice. So some of you I know already chopped your onions, which is fine. I have a pretty hefty onion here. I consider this a medium to large onion.
Hey, Art?
Yeah, yes.
Josie has a question.
Yes, Josie, go ahead, please.
How much rice? Like more than a cup. Was yours a cup?
Josie, did you have a question?
Yes.
I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can't see you. I can't hear you.
How much rice? It's not muted.
No, I can hear you, Josie.
How much rice?
I can't hear her. That's weird. Adrian, what is she saying? I can hear you.
Rice. She asked how much rice.
Oh, I did 1 cup, Josie, because 1 cup rice is enough for about 3 people. If you want to double your rice, you totally can if you have more people. But I do 1 cup, and my recipe that I post that you have a flyer for is a recipe for 1 cup of rice.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna chop my onion
Thank you.
and It's gonna be basically a fairly rough chop. You guys know I don't spend too much time worrying about the chopping. The beauty of the things that I make is that it all gets cooked so well and creamy and just makes the delicious, I can hear people chopping. It's making me so happy right now. Whoever's doing that. I can't see them. I'm pretty unhappy about that. Okay. Somebody's getting fired after this. Yay, Lisa! I can see you. Hi.
I'm chopping.
Okay, Lisa, it's just gonna be me and you. I don't know how this happened, but I love it. So happy.
I can change.
So I'm just doing a rough chop, and you guys, please, you're all on unmute unless you've muted yourself or your video is off or whatever. I feel free to. My onions are very strong. They are organic onions, and they don't mess around. I'm doing a rough chop. Where does she go?
Do you want me to keep it on, or you can tell me when to switch? You know, you can let me know.
Because otherwise we
Okay,
cannot
yeah.
speak.
Can we see other people? Can we rotate through people?
Yeah, I can do
Their videos on? Okay.
that.
Debbie!
Daddy!
Debbie, did you chop your onions, babe?
Yep, ready to go.
You are? You already chopped it before the class?
Uh-huh. It's right
Oh, what? Domestic goddess.
there. It's all right here.
Look at, I can't even. I love it. How happy is your hubby right now? I want the brownie points for the cooking though, by the way. Can I see who else is on? Oh, it's doing something. Okay. So I turned on my pot. I have a pretty big, I don't consider this large, but it's, hi Lindsay. I have a pretty big pot here, and I'm gonna add about 3 tablespoons of avocado oil that you have in the recipe. You can add a little bit more if you like. I like my food nice and oily. No, that's not.
We can't see your computer screen, just to let you know.
Okay, but you can see my side screen, right?
Yep, you're on.
I don't know, my computer screen is coming in and out. I don't know why. It's a magical mystery, but that's okay. To the oil, and stop me if you want me to wait for you. My oil is getting pretty hot. My heat is on full high. I'm gonna add.
Is this for rice or for the lentils?
No, babe, for the chickpeas. We're gonna make the chickpeas first. We washed. Do you remember the first time we wash and soak our rice? Rice is something we make at the end because it cooks up so fast. Because we're soaking it. It cooks up in like 5 minutes. So what we do is we make like whatever vegetables or curry, whatever you're making, we make that first. And while that's stewing and that's cooking, then we go and do the, I'm adding a tablespoon of cumin to my oil. This is a teaspoon, so I'm adding extra. Did you guys see? I want you to see, Chris is gonna come closer to my cumin so you can see how it's sizzling. This is the effect that you're looking for, this sizzle. And I can really smell it now. It smells amazing.
This tablespoon?
Yes, 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds.
Cumin seeds.
If you don't have cumin seeds, don't add anything. Just wait for me to add the onions. You cannot add any kind of powdered, ground up spice to this.
Oh, I got the cumin seeds. Look at that.
Am I
So
frozen?
not cumin, just cumin seeds, right?
Correct, cumin
Okay.
seeds. Okay, my seeds are getting super brown. I want you to kind of see, Chris, can you guys see what my cumin seeds look like? Yeah, yes. Okay, I'm adding my onions to this now. That was 1 onion, 1 fat little onion. Did you add? Sorry, 1 second. My sizzle is really, really loud. Ask your question again. Hi, sorry. I can see you, babe. Did you ask the question? Did you add? I added 1 tablespoon.
Thank you.
And when it starts to get brown and sputter and you can smell its toasty aroma, you can go ahead and quickly add your chopped onions to it.
Okay.
If you wait too long, the cumin's gonna get too brown. And I turn my heat down because my pot actually is a Dutch oven and it retains the heat really, really well. So I have to manage my heat perhaps a little differently than you guys do, depending on what kind of pot you have. So we're basically just sauteing onions right now. There's a little hand, if you can see. So I can ask you to turn the screen down just a little bit so they can see my cutting board. Yeah. It's not moving. Okay. Okay. Thank you. The camera goes in and out for some reason. Oh, because you're spotlighting this. Okay. I'm just sauteing my onions right now until they become kind of translucent, and I'll show you. Do you guys want me to wait for you? I can turn my heat down. You're watching? Okay.
Can I leave it on medium heat?
Yes, leave it on medium heat. Whatever heat you can manage. I feel like high heat, I'm keeping it a little bit lower because I'm also talking to you and I don't want my onions to burn. My cumin seeds are toasted. So the reason we add the whole spices first, because you want to give them a chance to kind of toast and bloom in the oil. Anything you add after that is going to stop the cooking process of that particular spice. For example, when we added onion, it stopped the cumin from cooking because there's so much water in the onion. So we're just going to so then you're not going to get that toasty aroma, that deep flavor that you're looking for. That looks really good. You guys see it? There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm turning up my heat a little bit because my process is going much, much smaller. While my onions are toasting, I'm gonna go ahead and cut my tomato. Some of you have already cut your tomato, and that's great. And one of the things that I listed on my things that you will need is that if you don't have fresh tomatoes, you can totally use any kind of canned crushed tomato, and I have that here. I wanted to show you, and I took it out of the can. This is a can of crushed organic tomato. You can use any kind of brand. You just have to make sure that it doesn't have any other herbs or spices or no salt or anything in it, because we're going to be adding salt in our chickpeas and we don't want additional salt in the tomatoes as well. So if you don't have fresh tomatoes, it's no big deal. You can always use, this dish is supposed to be very, very pantry friendly because onions last in your fridge or even outside for weeks. Garlic lasts for weeks. Ginger can last for weeks. So if you have those things and you have a couple of cans of chickpeas or any kind of black bean or red bean or any kind of bean that you like, and you have your spices, you are ready to rock and roll. You can make this anytime. That's my 2 tomatoes. We're gonna make this dish like a little bit saucy, like with a little bit of a gravy to it, so that we can spoon it on our yummy rice. So that's why I'm adding a little bit more tomatoes to it. My tomatoes are so juicy and so ripe. I always pick, I know people always pick the firm tomatoes. Actually, I always pick the reddest, most juicy tomatoes because I cook with them. And if you don't like tomatoes, last week we had somebody that did not enjoy cooking with tomatoes. They didn't want to eat tomatoes. You can skip the tomatoes as well. It's fine. Okay. My onions are perfectly translucent and starting to get brown. Where are you guys in your tomato process, in your onion process?
Onion, good.
All right, Christopher, are yours? Do you go by Christopher or do you go by Chris?
Christopher's good.
Okay, okay. Are your tomatoes, sorry, are your onions good?
Yes.
Okay. Can I show you guys what my onions look like? And this is kind of crucial. This right here. This is kind of like I'm not sure if it kind of translates really, really well into the screen, but my cumin is nice and brown. My onions are nice translucent. I'm gonna go ahead and add my tomatoes to it. Are you guys ready?
Sure.
Okay. I don't have tomatoes or fresh tomatoes, but I do have tomato paste and tomato sauce. Okay, so for this particular dish, I would recommend using tomato sauce. Okay. How much tomato sauce do you have? How much do I need? Okay, that's a better question. You're absolutely right. So for 3 tomatoes, I would say about 1 can, about 16 ounces, 14, 16 ounces. Thank you. Or about a cup. Yeah, I have a cup. Perfect. And I can even tell you, if you don't have tomato sauce and you have tomato paste, you can use 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And tomato paste is actually delicious in this dish because it's so concentrated and it's acidic. It adds like that little tang and acid that you need for the chickpeas. I'm turning up my heat to full so I can start kind of caramelizing the onions a little further and start cooking my tomatoes. So a couple things about tomatoes. They're so high in vitamin C. They're really, really good for you. But what happens is because they're acidic, they stop the cooking process of whatever else you add. So for example, I added them to my tomatoes. They made to my onions. My onions are no longer really cooking. My onions are full of water again. So you want to make sure your onions are, nice and cooked before you add your tomatoes to it. And at this point, we're not going to add anything else until our tomatoes are fully cooked. I don't know if you guys follow Dr. Gundry or if you know about Dr. Gundry. He's a cardiologist, very, very famous guy, nutritionist as well, obviously. And he talks about this chemical in tomatoes called lectin that's kind of really, really bad for your gut. And tomato skin and tomato seeds are very high in lectin. So he says that he eats either his tomatoes really, really well cooked, or he peels the tomatoes and takes the seeds out. So tomatoes you have to really, really cook them. And I actually always discourage people from eating raw tomatoes. If you're gonna eat raw tomatoes, take the skin off and take the seeds out, because that's really, really not good for your gut health and for weight loss. So I'm gonna keep cooking. Feel free to jump in and ask whatever questions you guys like. I'm waiting for my tomatoes. Lisa, you can put the phone next to your stove if you like, babe, if that makes your life easier.
You said that, oh, sorry. Arch just said that we shouldn't, can you hear me? Arch?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi.
Oh, hi. I was telling Ella about the tomatoes.
Hi, Ella. How are you, babe?
Because she likes to eat raw tomatoes. She likes tomatoes, but
Michelle, you know Dr. Gundry.
yes, but
Yeah.
I didn't say that about the tomatoes.
Yeah, that's like the main thing. Like his 2 big things are lectin, which is in some, like he's very pro avocado, eating avocado for fiber and of course the good omegas. And can I show them what my tomatoes and onions look like? I kind of want you guys to see this. This is a really, really important process. See how the tomatoes, I'm going to zoom out because it's getting steamy. You see how it's kind of starting to mesh together? I'm going to keep cooking my tomatoes until they're kind of a little bit more melted, if you will. They in this recipe, actually using tomato sauce is or crushed tomatoes. That's not tomato sauce, that's crushed tomatoes, is really, really good. Yeah, so I used either poached tomatoes, or actually I cook the heck out of my tomatoes in all my recipes. There we go, side angle. I can see myself, but I can't always see you guys unless somebody spotlights you. Adrian, are you spotlighting them? Is that why I'm able to see them sometimes?
Yes, correct. That's why you
Thank
can
you
see
so
it. Sometimes,
much. Yeah.
yeah.
My computer is like still like there's a little wheel thingy spinning. I don't know why. I told them because I didn't really say a prayer today. I always do before.
You can
sound
also
like one of those crazy
restart
ladies,
your-
but
you can restart your computer in the future.
yeah, we can restart the computer, he said. I know you can't hear him.
Arch, what are you doing?
I was just peeling my ginger while I was chatting with you guys, only because the skin of my ginger today is slightly rough. For all our new friends, what I usually tell everybody is if your ginger is nice and fresh and tender, you don't have to peel it. You just wash it really, really well, and we're gonna grate it. I'm gonna show you a great sheet on what to do with your ginger and your garlic as well. I already peeled my garlic. So today I peeled it. Normally I just wash the ginger and I grate it with peel on. You don't have to. Okay. Can I show them what I'm sorry, go ahead. Did you have a question?
I forgot garlic.
Oh, that's okay. I'll tell you a quick hack. So I want to show you where I am. Can you see the brown bits on the bottom of my pan? That's what I'm looking for. Oh, yay. I can see it too. Okay, so I'm gonna see this brown bits. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is where all your flavor is. I'm scraping it off, and my tomatoes are getting there. You guys see how my tomatoes are getting kind of jammy? And I'm picking up all the little brown bits, and I'm gonna turn my heat back up. And at this point, if you feel like, oh my God, this is getting like super concentrated and I can't manage, like the heat is too high, add a little water to it. And adding the water to it will slow down the process of cooking and give you a little bit more time to caramelize it nicely. Okay, so my tomatoes are perfectly cooked. The peel has come off and they're looking super melty. I'm gonna wait for you guys to catch up, and when you're there, let me know, and then we'll start adding our spices to it. So while I'm waiting for you, I wanna tell you why we haven't added any other spices to it. So you wanna wait until your tomatoes are almost condensed, like the water in the tomatoes has evaporated, the water in the onions has evaporated. And what's happened is, and I'm gonna zoom in and I'm gonna show you. Thank you, baby. I'm gonna show you. You see how, if I don't drop my, baby? You see the oil? Do you guys see how the oil is coming out? I don't know if you can see. If you can see, tell me. Do you see the sizzling right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is now what's happened is most of the water from the onions and the tomatoes has evaporated, and the oil that we added originally has started to come back out. So this is where all your yummy deep flavor in your chana masala is gonna come from. Super concentrated. This is so yummy. I'm gonna add garlic to this next. Do you guys see it? This is really important to get your onions and tomatoes to this stage. Okay, so I have my garlic. Do you guys have your garlic ready?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna grate it. You can totally chop it if you like. I will show you how I think my recipe, I asked you guys for 5 to 6. I have 6. Also chop it like this. It's a rough chop. You can see it's kind of chunky. I like my garlic a little chunky. I like to be able to taste I'm gonna turn my heat down just a little bit while I'm chopping and chatting with you. And it's perfectly okay to have your stuff chopped up ahead of time if you guys want to. And that way you can just pay attention to what I'm saying if you want to, or you can check your text messages while I'm chopping and zone out. There we go. So my chop and my grating was pretty much the same. I'm just going over it. Can you smell the garlic and the onions? Can you show them what my onions and tomatoes look like? Let me come in closer for you. You guys see all the oil has come back out. There's no water left in my onions and tomatoes. Do you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, you see all that sizzle? That's oil, that's not water. Because initially we had so much water in our tomatoes. Okay, I'm adding, because now the reason for the oil to come, why I was waiting for the oil to come back out, because now when I add garlic to it, it's gonna saute the garlic too. If I add it too soon, it's just gonna boil the garlic and you're not gonna get that yummy, deep garlicky flavor in your dish. If you don't have garlic, Debbie, if you have garlic powder or even garlic salt, you can use that.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually always keep, and I would love to talk to you guys about like what to keep in your pantry one day. And if you're interested, we can have a little pantry 101 chit chat. I always keep garlic powder without salt and onion powder without salt in my pantry. So if for whatever reason I don't have onion or I don't have garlic that particular day, I can still flavor and season my food with the concentrated garlic flavor. I'm just gonna wash my hands, get the sticky garlic off my hands, and meet you guys back. How does this smell, Debbie? Does it smell divine?
Oh, it smells so good.
Right?
And I can smell the garlic too.
Yeah, perfect. You know, one thing I don't have is, I forgot about my jalapeno. So I had asked you guys to have a a jalapeno. It's totally optional. And the reason I love jalapeno in this particular dish, or any dish, you can take the seeds out if you like, and I'll show you how to do that. I prefer to keep the seeds in because I like it spicy. I know, Debbie, you like it spicy too.
Yeah.
So for us, taking the seeds out is a colossal waste of perfectly good spicy jalapeno, but that's okay. But there are a lot of nutrients in the skin of the jalapeno. For example, capsaicin. Capsaicin is very, very anti-inflammatory, very good for your joints. So definitely use peppers in your food. And the spiciness, the little bit of heat, and you can modify the heat of your food obviously to your liking and your kids and whoever's eating it. But it's very essential for the food to have just a little bit of kick, a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice to it, because it kickstarts your metabolism and it gets the food digesting much, much faster than normal. And who doesn't want to digest their food and metabolize it in the best possible way? So it's really, really good for you. And it helps you lose weight. A little heat, you just kind of sweat it out. Right, Debbie?
Mm-hmm.
We like that little forehead sweat that we get when we're eating ramen.
I'm already sweating.
And the spicy food, she's like, I'm already sweating. It's a relatively warm day today. Okay, I want to show you guys what my onions, tomato, garlic, ginger, jalapeno, cumin mix looks like. It looks like this right here. If you put a little bit of salt on it, you can make, look at how beautiful that looks.
Oh, Arch, did you put
Yes.
ginger already?
Did I put what, babe?
Ginger.
Yes. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. No, I did
Oh, you
not.
didn't?
No, I did not. I will. Ginger does not have to be cooked.
Okay.
Ginger you can eat raw, and ginger can be added towards a little bit later end of your dishes to get that gingery flavor in your food. So I just wanted to make sure we cooked the garlic and everything, kind of mesh it really, really well. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add my ginger. It looks really, really good. I turned up the heat to about medium high. So I'm gonna show you how I grate my, if you don't have a grater, that's fine. I'm gonna show you how to chop it as well. But this is how I grate my ginger. It comes out really, really pretty. And this inside bit, if you don't have a grater, I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna take these little things off. Just cut it into these as thin as possible slices. Just stack them up. Chop them. Iris, I know you're out there somewhere. I can't see you, but I can feel your magical presence.
I'm here.
You are! How are you?
I miss you.
I miss you too. I'm so happy to hear your voice. Is your daughter also joining us?
Ariana, are you there? I think she should be there. I think she's Zoom shy.
All right. Okay, that's okay. That's all right. No problem. If I can see you, I can help you and look at your food, but it's okay. So I'm going to show you what my onions and tomatoes and stuff is doing right now. I wish you guys could smell this. Say it again, baby.
Ground ginger, how much to put?
Look at that. You see all these brown bits, you guys? This is heaven. Right here. Okay. I'm going to turn my heat down because this is 100% ready to go right now. And I'm going to add my ginger to it. Oh my God, I wish you could smell this.
Ground ginger, how much of this should I put?
Say that again?
If I have ground ginger, how much of this should I put?
For this dish, I would not use any more than 1 teaspoon.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and add that now and mix it. Ginger lasts a long time in the fridge, Shari, so you can always buy it and just throw it in the fridge. And if you think you're really, I mean, now that we're cooking every week, you're gonna need it every week, so you can go ahead and invest in a big chunk of ginger. But you can also wash it and put it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in the freezer. And it'll be perfectly fresh. And you can just grate it when you straight out of the freezer, like a little, it's like a little frozen popsicle, and you can just grate the frozen and just throw it in the food, and it's delicious and perfect. Yeah. So my spice blend now, my masala, my raw stuff is perfectly cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my ground spices to it. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah, Debbie, can I see your mix?
Yes. It's oops, how do I do that? Let me
I love that base.
Let me see.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Are you adding any jalapeno to it or no?
I don't have jalapeno. I have the red one, so I put the red one. Is that
red? Oh, perfect. Yeah, and you have your garlic and your ginger and everything.
Yeah, so that's the red one right there.
Perfect. It looks really, really good. I love it. Okay, let's add our dry spices. Actually, Debbie, do you want to add another tablespoon of oil?
Yes.
Yeah, add a little bit of oil to it because it looks like it needs a little bit more. Perfect. Love it. Okay, great. Mix it in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love being able to see it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, there we go. See how it's moving?
That makes a difference.
That makes a big difference. And don't be afraid of using oil. That's why I always invest in a good high quality oil. These spices, this food is in oils, cooking them in oils increases their bioavailability and helps you digest your food better. So don't be afraid to use good quality oil in your food. And we're making a lot of food with a very little bit of oil. So I know sometimes people are a little bit concerned, but just go crazy with the oil. Don't worry about it.
It smells delicious.
It smells so good. Okay, guys, you ready for the spices? I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of turmeric. This is a 1 teaspoon. Yeah?
Enough turmeric.
Baba, you want to come a little bit closer so they can see? I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of coriander powder.
Coriander powder. What is that? I thought I had it.
And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of the garam masala. And those of you that don't have it, don't worry about it. Shari, I know you have it. And Michelle has it. Whoever has my spice kit, you have it. And I know, Debbie, you have it too.
I have it. You remember?
Yeah, I know you have it. You showed it to me. We did a full inventory of Debbie's pantry before we began this adventure. I'm also going to add a little bit of red cayenne powder because it bumps up the heat a little bit. And I like my food to have a little bit of spicy kick to it, especially my lunch, my daytime food, because it helps me digest my food a little bit faster and metabolize it faster and kind of absorb all the nutrients a little bit faster. But if you have little kids eating it, you don't have to. You can add it to your batch if you like. Okay, so everything is ready. I haven't salted anything yet, but it's just so gorgeous.
Did we put the cumin?
Smells so good.
Did we put cumin?
I'm ready to add my chickpeas. Are you guys ready?
I
wait for you.
cumin.
The cumin powder?
Yeah.
Yes, add the cumin powder too. I'm sorry.
1 teaspoon?
Yeah, 1 teaspoon.
Maria had a question, Arch.
Okay, go for it.
I think I got it. It was the
Can't
cumin
hear
powder.
her. So Adrian, if you could tell me what she's saying.
It was
What
about
is
the
that,
cumin
Maria?
powder. It was about the cumin powder, so it's good. You got the question answered. Thank you.
She got the question answered.
Okay.
It's weird that you can't hear some people.
I know. I wonder why. Okay, I'm adding my chickpeas, you guys. Mine, okay, so the thing about chickpeas, they should be really, really soft. Really, really soft. So I'm adding them, and we're gonna cook them a little bit more. This was 3 cups of chickpeas. I'm turning my heat up all the way high so I can mix this really, really well. I'm gonna mix it. It already looks really good. And now I'm ready to salt it. And you guys salt to taste. I'm gonna do 1 generous teaspoon and then another ½ a teaspoon. That's it. 1½ teaspoon for me. Look at how pretty it looks already. That green of the jalapeno really adds pretty color, but if you don't have it, it's okay. If you have cilantro or you have parsley, I prefer cilantro, or green onions, you can totally do that as well. I'm gonna taste it just to make sure my salt is good. Perfect. That's really, really good. I'm gonna wait for it to come to a boil and catch up with you guys. What's going on?
Do we need to put water or anything?
Not right now.
Okay.
We will add water, but I want to cook it. So I want to show you, Baba, can you come a little closer so you can see what mine looks like? Because mine was washed, cooked, and ready to go, it already had a little bit of water to it.
Oh, okay.
So if yours has no water and is completely dry, you can add ½ a cup of water just so you can, it makes it easier for you to mix it and move it around.
Okay.
Do you guys see? Do you guys see how good this looks? It smells so good. Even my unpaid assistant was appreciating. No, you're not being forced to do it. You're being motivated to do it. You're doing it because you love me, not because you're afraid of me. Okay. I lost 1 assistant. He ran away. He looked around and nobody was watching and he's like, I'm going to scram. Okay, I'm going to add water.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's so It's so good. But we're going to make it even better. We're going to add about 3 cups of water to it. And then we're going to bring it to a boil because we want it to be like a little saucy, little creamy, little, I want the chickpeas to get even softer. I know it's hot, Debbie, right?
Yeah, it's so good.
1, 2, 3. This is 3 cups. I'm eyeballing it. You're welcome to measure. This is about 3 cups of water. 1 cup of water additional per cup of chickpeas. Iris, are you cooking with us or are you watching? Let's see you.
You better believe I'm cooking with you.
Yay, I love it. So you have dinner tonight then, huh? Or lunch or late lunch. Okay, I want you guys to see kind of the consistency of my chickpeas. You see they're kind of covered in water, but you can see them. So you can add more water to it or leave it alone. It's up to you. How does it look? How does it look, Dad?
I think I put too much water, Arch.
Okay, that's okay. How many chickpeas did you have? 3 cups?
2 cans, and then 3 cups of water, and it looks
That's
like
okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see. Oh no, that's perfect. So
That's
let me
good? Okay.
show you a cheat, a little trick. So what you do is, let me show you how to make them, if you add too much water, how to make them really creamy. So you take your little spatula, whatever, gently, you push the chickpeas to the side and you mash them. You push it to the side. This is a little secret. Nobody will tell you except a good Indian mom. You push this back and you mush it, you see? So the starch and the yumminess, the protein in the chickpeas is gonna release into the water and make your gravy nice and thick. So you can kind of mash up 50% of the chickpeas and leave 50% whole. And this is just an eyeball measurement that I'm giving you guys. You see? You see my heat is on full, as high as my thing will go, and it's starting to come to a boil. You guys see?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep mashing my peas. And you can make this exact same dish with any kind of beans, black-eyed peas, black beans, frijoles, pinto beans, whatever you have. All those cans in the back that you hoarded beginning of coronavirus, you can start cooking those now. There you go. There we go. Do you see what I'm doing? Do you guys see how like half of my chickpeas are kind of mushy now?
Yeah.
Right here. Yum. I'm gonna let this come to a boil. You guys can keep mashing if you like, if you think yours need a little bit more mashing. So this is coming to a boil now. I'm gonna turn it down. I'm gonna cover it. And I'm gonna let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Okay? The heat is on like medium. And I'm covering it. Shari, do you want me to see, or Lisa, do you guys want me to see yours? Or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna change my stove. Okay. I'm gonna, oh wow, that looks so good. Who is that? Oh, Shari, oh nice.
I doubled everything.
You doubled everything, that's great. Yeah, that looks really good. So go ahead and spend like another 2 minutes smashing your chickpeas to get them nice and creamy. And your amount of water you have in there is perfect. This, you can just bring them to a nice boil like mine, turn it to a medium, cover it, and just leave it for like 10 minutes. And we're just gonna let it simmer, okay? I'm gonna wait for you guys to catch up and then we'll make the rice to go with it.
Maria, do you want to show your dish?
Is Maria's camera on? Can I see?
Can you see?
Can you see it?
No, I can't. My cam. Oh, let me see. Oh, I can see. It looks so good.
Smells delicious.
Nice, Maria. Hi, Josie. I can see you. So nice to see you. Oh, I should flip it so you guys can see my face from the bottom up angle. Here we go. What are you drinking, Josie?
Your
I can't hear
tea.
you.
Self-love.
Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, self-love.
Let me show you guys my chickpeas. They're steaming. I don't know if you can see the steam coming out. I turned it down. I'm just gonna let them simmer. I'll show you what they look like from the inside real quick. See how they're boiling?
Yeah.
And you see the oil that we initially put in is right there in the middle. And all the flavor and everything is right there. So this amount of boil is the perfect, it's simmer, not boil. I'm gonna let it simmer while we make our rice. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay. Put that down. I'm gonna show you how I make my turmeric rice. So my stove water is on. This is my rice. My heavy bottom. Debbie, are you ready to make rice, babe? Yeah, you love the rice too. Did you cover, yeah, perfect. Coconut oil is perfect. Did you cover your chickpeas?
No.
Yeah, cover your chickpeas, yeah. And then like, make sure they're boiling, like they're simmering. Because we want the gravy to get like a little thick and the flavors to become a little bit more concentrated. And that's where all like the yummy, that deep yummy flavor is gonna come from. Yeah, are we ready to make rice? Did you guys soak your rice?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Drika, I love your glasses.
Oh, very stylish.
So cute. How much oil did I say? 1 tablespoon. Debbie, how much oil?
One tablespoon coconut oil.
1 tablespoon. Yeah, that's what my recipe says. Thank you guys. I forgot my own recipe. Because you know, honestly, the recipes are for you guys. I don't necessarily follow recipes. I mean, you know, I've been making rice since I was like 12. So at this point, I don't measure. I'm gonna wait for Drika to catch up. Take your time.
I got it.
You're so cute. Are you doubling your rice?
Always.
Always. Okay, so double your coconut. I love cooking rice with coconut oil because it gives the rice like this creamy, buttery flavor, and it just makes them taste so rich and delicious. So when your oil is melty, add a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric. And black pepper. Just stay the.
What else? Cumin seed and what else?
Cumin, a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and just a little pinch of black pepper. Just very little black pepper. And I'm gonna do about half a teaspoon of salt because our chickpeas are already salted. We don't really need a lot of salt. Can I show you guys what my pan looks like?
Yeah.
Just so you have an idea.
Right.
Okay, I put things separately so you can see my cumin is sizzling. My turmeric has changed its color and it's become like really deep saffron color.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys add like a tiny bit of black pepper? Okay, I'm gonna add my rice. I'm gonna give my camera back to my camera person. I'm pouring the water out of my rice. And I'm gonna add just 1 cup of rice. Actually, because of this 45 minutes or whatever long it took us to make our chickpeas, my rice has doubled in size. From 1 cup, it actually looks like it's almost 2 cups, just from soaking it. And just mixing the turmeric and the cumin and the salt and the pepper really nicely with just coating it with the rice basically. And I had 1 cup of rice. I'm gonna add a little less than 2 cups of water. I always use filtered water for cooking. All my sinks in the house are filtered water. They have filters in them. So always cook your food with filtered water if you can. It will taste much better, I promise. And it's better for you too. Okay. Do you guys see how much water is above my rice? I'm gonna cut, yeah, perfect. I'm gonna mix it just so you can get a gauge of how much water do you think this is? Like half an inch of water above the rice. I'm gonna cover it, starting to come to a boil. Yours, the people that have doubled their recipe, you're gonna be a little bit behind me because I'm doing a little bit less. So obviously, because you're doing double the amount, it's gonna take you a little bit longer than what I'm doing, but that's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna wait for the rice to come to a boil. And you're gonna be like, how do I know it's boiling? Because I can't see, I can feel it. I can intuitively feel my rice boiling, and I'll show you when it's done. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to turn the stove way down to its lowest setting possible. I'm just gonna clean up while you guys are catching up or whatever you're doing. I'm gonna clean my cutting board because I'm gonna chop my cilantro next. Because I have a feeling that my chickpeas are done. How good does your kitchen smell right now? Wait till you open your chickpea lid, it's gonna smell even better. Okay.
Arch.
Yes, babe.
I did have cilantro, and then you mentioned a green onion, and I think I put the green onion way too early.
That's okay. I saw that you did that and it looked beautiful because it made it look like you had a jalapeno. Do you have a little bit more? Do you have a little bit more green onions? Or did you use all?
That's it. I used them all. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. No worries. Okay, my rice is boiling. I'm gonna have Gobi come a little closer so I can show you what my rice looks like right now. This is what the rice looks like right now. It's super, super roaring boil. I'm gonna turn my heat way down and I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna leave it alone for about 5 minutes and the rice is gonna be perfectly, deliciously cooked. I'm ready to check on my chickpeas. Do you guys have any questions? I don't wanna go too fast. Everyone's quiet?
Waiting for water to boil.
Yes, do you have a question?
The chickpeas.
No, I guess waiting.
Are they cooking on medium or medium, like low medium?
They're on medium low. Like I simmer, like whatever your simmer is, that's where I'm gonna, Lisa, I'm gonna show you what mine look like. Just give me 1 second. Here, watch this. Do you see how they're simmering?
Yeah.
So whatever your heat is, mine is about medium low for me to get my chickpeas to this point.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So chickpeas are actually almost done. I'm gonna just wait till my rice is finished. So your chickpeas are actually completely cooked now. The dish is pretty much ready to go. I'm just letting it simmer because I like my sauce a little bit thicker, like that creamy, thick sauce consistency to eat with the rice. It just kind of goes so well. I'm gonna chop some cilantro. Those of you that don't have cilantro, if you have parsley, if you have mint, whatever greens, green onions, if you don't have anything, don't worry about it. Just skip this step.
Quick question. The recipe said cloves. Do we need to put them on?
This is about 2 tablespoons of cilantro. Mine is already washed. I keep it.
Hey, Arch.
Yes.
Maria had a question, and I don't think you could hear her again.
Yes, the
I
recipe.
can't hear.
The
What is she
recipe
saying?
she posted said cloves, like 4.
Oh, the audio is off on that. That's why I can't hear them.
Do we need to use the clove at all?
Okay.
Okay, Maria, ask her again. I think she can hear you now.
I was wondering about the cloves. I think in the recipe it said we had 4 cloves. Can you hear me? We cannot hear you now.
What did she say? Maria, say it again.
I put it in the chat. Maybe it will be easier.
Okay.
Do we need to use the
Do we
four
need
clubs?
to use the cloves?
Do we
what?
need to use the 4 clubs?
I had four what?
I don't know. The recipe said something about 4 cloves, but it's okay. Just wondering.
Oh, 4 cloves of garlic. Yes.
Oh, the clove. Okay, it was okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
garlic. Did you add your garlic when we were making the?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just chopping my cilantro while I'm chatting with you. You don't have to do such a fine chop. So the reason I almost always recommend using cilantro to garnish and to cook with, I talked about this in our last class and I'll repeat it. Those of you that come to all my classes hear a lot of repetitive stuff. But the reason is cilantro, it has very detoxing effect on your organs, especially your liver and your kidneys. It's an amazing herb, and so is parsley. And the pH in the cilantro and parsley is so high, it's very, very alkalining for your body. So I try to put cilantros and parsleys and these herbs on all my smoothies and whatever, any stews, anything that I'm making. If I can put cilantro and parsley in it, I will try to put it in there. So I highly recommend that you guys, whenever you go to the grocery store, grab a bunch of preferably organic. We're so lucky here, at least in California, we have very, very good organic, reasonably priced produce. But even if it's not, you can wash it really, really well, and always have cilantro and parsley on hand and try to throw it in anything that you're making, sauces, stews, salads. You can even eat it raw and it's very good for you. My rice is done. My intuition is telling me I'm gonna show you my rice, do the big rice reveal. Let me grab a fork. And I think your rice is done too. There we go. You guys see? My rice is done. It's perfectly cooked. And it smells heavenly. And now I'm gonna show you my chickpeas. My chickpeas are done. They're nice and sizzly. I'm gonna put some cilantro on top. I'm turning off all my heat for the rice and for the chickpeas. And here we go. What do you think, Debbie? It's perfectly cooked. It's delicious. Okay. Maybe I can unmute the phone so I can hear them.
Arch, mine look
Yes,
different.
I can hear her. Go ahead, babe.
Arch, mine look different.
Okay, that's okay because you used different kinds of tomatoes. That's okay. Yeah. You have a little bit more water than I do. That's okay. Because remember you added, so do me a favor, turn up your heat all the way.
Okay.
And just let the water boil off. And you're just going to go ahead and mix it. Like I'm mixing my, that's your pot. It looks like mine. You stirred at the same time I did. That looks really, really, I was like, why is my
But look at my rice. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, Debbie. That rice looks amazing.
I am hooked with this rice. Let's see.
It's so good. And you can make the same recipe with quinoa.
Oh, really?
Same exact thing, yes. For the cooking time, however, you're gonna go ahead and follow whatever the package says. Quinoa takes a little bit longer to cook than rice, and you don't soak quinoa. So that's its own recipe. And then of course you can do the same thing with brown rice. Drop my towel. Brown rice takes a little bit longer to cook than regular basmati rice. So you're gonna adjust the time for that too. But you can use the same recipe for a lot of different types of grains. So
but the rice
me,
so delicious, Art.
So good, I know. I can't.
Oh my God.
I do make a lot of quinoa as well. I make other grains, a lot of ancient grains. But of course, the rice is always my favorite. Does anybody have any questions? I'm gonna start putting the food in my bowl. I know Debbie, keep yours on high until like a little bit more water has evaporated.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. So I would say 1 cup of rice makes 3 servings. I think you could reasonably say that it makes 4 servings, but I eat more than maybe average people do. I don't know. So for me, it seems like it's only 3 servings. I'm gonna put if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. I'm keeping an eye on the chat also. I don't have any questions on the chat yet. But if you have, you're welcome to ask, or you can type it in and I will answer your questions for you. I just want you to see what mine looks like, huh? It looks good. Even my biggest critic, my sous chef and my food connoisseur, does not just, you know, say food is good if it's not. Even he's saying that it looks good and it smells really good. Yeah, he approves. I'm gonna take a quick taste, you guys. The cilantro, for next Friday, I'm gonna see what we're making and I'll try to post the flyer and what you need sooner than Wednesday, like I did this week. This week was just kind of emotionally and physically draining with everything going on in LA, but try to have cilantro on hand. I'm a big advocate of having fresh herbs and like garlic and ginger and things like that in your arsenal. It's to build your immunity, kind of give you the anti-inflammatory properties that these herbs and spices have. It kind of all comes together. And another thing with cilantro, like as I'm standing over my bowl, I can smell the fresh cilantro. Chopping it activates the oils in it and releases the oils in the leaves. And I can smell it and it's already making me salivate. In the process of, there goes my babe. See, there she is. Good girl. Debbie's eating. How is it?
Oh my God.
It's hot, I know.
It's so delicious.
So good, right? So when your mouth starts to water, when you smell foods, what that does is it starts to work your metabolism and your digestive enzymes in your gut to start digesting the food. As soon as it hasn't even hit my belly yet, my mouth is watering. It's my brain getting ready to eat and my digestive enzymes are starting to already work and help the food digest. So it's not gonna sit in your belly for hours and hours and hours. So I'm gonna taste because Debbie's making me hungry.
This is amazing. Thank you.
It smells so good.
Oh my God. I'm so proud of myself. Thank you. I love you, baby.
Oh my God. You guys.
Oh,
I'm not just saying this, but this is pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
Right? What do you think?
This is amazing.
Oh
right?
my God, look at that. Gorgeous. Look at that rice. That's
Oh my God, it's the best rice I've ever had.
I love it.
It's so good.
It's so good. And so we did everything in about, minus the technical difficulty in the beginning, I would say about 50 minutes. We made quite a bit of food. You have, chickpeas are so high in protein. This is a very nutrient dense meal. And sometimes what I'll do is I even take like a big handful of baby spinach and I'll throw that in at the end once this is done and I've turned off the heat, and I cover it. And the steam and the heat from the chickpeas kind of wilts the spinach, and then you kind of bump up your calcium and your iron and the protein as well. So this is a complete meal. You're pretty much getting everything. And if you want to eat some greens or some salad and some fruit after, it's nutritionally complete for you. And it's so good and it makes you happy and you made it and you can share it with your family. And I love you guys. My hour is up. I'm 5 minutes over my hour. If you have any questions, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook. It's Tuli. You can go to my website, archtuli.com. I talk about a lot of spices. I have my stuff for sale there, my spice kit and my spices and teas. But there's a lot of information about what cumin is and why we use cumin and coriander and roses and cardamom. So just a little information so that you have it. I would love for you guys to check it out. DM me, ask me any questions, whatever you guys want. And I hope you'll join me next Friday, same time, same place, same kitchen. hopefully less technical difficulty. Same two lovelies, reluctant, loving assistant. I love them. They're so helpful. So thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Adrian, for your help. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
guys have any questions before I go?
No, I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
you.
Hope you'll take a picture and
Thank
post
you.
it and tag me. Arch Tuli, please tag me so I can see and I can repost. That makes me so happy.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
I love you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Enjoy
you
your
so
fun.
much.
Enjoy your fun. Bye.
Arch, I'm gonna end the class.
Yes. Thank you, Adrian.